As you can see by the title of this video, we're going to go through who I believe to have the most devastating knockout power in the UFC in every single division. And I want it to be known that these are my opinions of who I think has the most pure brute force in their punches out of everyone in the division as of October 2024. And it's important to remember, these picks are not the greatest strikers in the divisions. These are simply who I believe to be the hardest potential hitter in their respective divisions. Without further ado, let's get into the most devastating knockout power in the flyweight division, who is Kai Don't Blink Kara-France. I think Kai was a pretty clear winner for this one, especially since Figueiredo went up a weight class now. 12 wins by knockout with 13 finishes in the first round. This guy has some next level power for the flyweight division. His nickname isn't Don't Blink for no reason. He's also one of the most relentless dudes in the octagon when he smells blood in the water. Once Kai has you badly hurt, most of the time, the fight is over. He has notable KOs over Cody Garbrandt and Steve Erceg, both in the first round. The guy's power is no joke. I've also got honorable mentions in Bruno Silva and in Manel Kape. I think they're both hard hitters as well, but I don't think they're as good as Kai Kara-France at getting the finish with a single punch. And we're moving up to the Bantamweight division. I might get a bit of flack for this, but Deiveson, the God of War Figueiredo, I believe might have crazy power that transfers over to his new division at Bantamweight. 9 wins by KO with 11 first round finishes. He's also finished 18 of his 24 wins. Most recently, he was able to become the first person to knock down Marlon Cheeto Vera, which seemed impossible to a lot of fans. It's crazy to think that potentially the hardest hitting bantamweight is a former flyweight. I think in terms of single shot power, Figueiredo edges this one out, but in honorable mentions, I will put Sean O'Malley and someone else who I thought about, Song Yadong, in terms of single shot power in the bantamweight division. But I don't think these guys hit as hard as our next fighter in the featherweight division, who is Josh Emmett. I believe Josh Emmett has the most brute force in his punches when compared to any other fighter in the division of featherweight, and his brute force might even transcend divisions at this point. He currently has 7 wins by knockout in the UFC. Josh Emmett literally only needs 1 punch to knock you out on the feet. I think he has the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen for any division, notably against Michael Johnson, Ricardo Lamas, and most recently Bryce Mitchell. That might have been one of the most scariest knockouts I've ever seen to this day in the UFC. All these knockouts were by a single punch. He really does have the big old meaty hooks, as Lucas Tracy likes to say. I've also put Diego Lopez and Ilia Topuria in the honorable mentions because I believe they both pack a powerful punch, but maybe not as powerful as the next fighter up in the lightweight division, who is Michael Iron Chandler. I believe that Michael Chandler might be the most explosive and most powerful one-hit puncher in the division currently, and that doesn't mean he wins, guys, okay? It's 11 wins by KO, 13 first round finishes with notable UFC KO wins over Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. I think being the first person to KO Tony Ferguson out cold in the way he did says something about the power that he has, guys. I think he's a freak athlete. He pistol squatted Dustin Poirier and slammed him in their fight, which is a crazy feat of strength, and I just really do think that power for power in this division, he is the strongest. I've also put in the honorable mentions Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier because it's quite close between all of them. Unfortunately to Michael Chandler, he has lost to both. It doesn't mean they're more explosive or have more brute knockout power than him, but maybe this next fighter has more power than all of them. Up in the welterweight division, it is Carlos the Nightmare Prates. This is where the picks get tricky, guys. I was searching through the welterweight division to determine who truly was the hardest hitter, and I kept thinking about Carlos Prates. I just couldn't avoid picking Prates since the guy is an absolute KO machine with many vicious KOs coming off of one massive strike. I've watched this guy in other promotions finish people with a single jab out cold. He finished Charles Radke with one of the most vicious knees to the body I've ever seen. It was a single KO strike. The man is on a crazy KO streak right now, and I believe he will continue it against Neil Magny in their upcoming fight as well. This is someone who's outside of the rankings right now, but watch out for him, guys. I believe this guy might be the hardest hitter in the division right now. now. But I don't think he hits as hard as the next guy up a division, who is Joe Bodybags Pyfer. Listen, they don't call this man Bodybags for no reason. He smashed Ngannou's powerful punch record by around 32%, which has to count for something. Most recently, he flatline KO'd Marc-Andre Barriault, and the man has absolute dynamite in both hands. I've seen KOs from his left hand and his right hand. It's no joke. Most of his KOs come off of that single KO strike that ends the fight. So it's not by damage accumulation or by combinations. It's all one bomb that lands. I've also put in the honorable mentions Bruno Ferreira and Caio Baralho in this division for the most powerful punches. But if we have to go to the pound for pound most powerful punch in the UFC, it might be the next fighter, who is Alex Poatan Pereira for the light heavyweight division. I think everyone saw this coming. He has 12 wins with 10 KOs. The man has KOs, TKO wins over notable names such as Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska twice, and just recently added Khalil Roundtree to that list. His left hook is his signature move, and it's almost a touch of death when it lands on his opponents. Alex Pereira may be the most skilled stand-up fighter in the division, alongside also being the most powerful, which is insane and it seems unfair. He's a modern day warrior, guys. And I've also put in the honorable mentions for power. I've put Yuri Prohaska, and I've also put Johnny Walker. And now we move on to the final fighter, who might have the most devastating knockout power in the heavyweight division or in the UFC overall. It is Derrick the Black Beast Lewis. So many heavyweights have one punch power, because at that point all the big boys can hit hard, but only one has the most KOs in UFC history and is known for the most vicious knockouts in the division. Most notable vicious KO wins include wins over Alexander Volkov and Curtis Blades. In that fight with Volkov, it really showcased a comeback entirely reliant on one power punch landing to change everything. I do believe Derrick the Black Beast Lewis is the hardest hitter in the heavyweight division, and I've put in honorable mentions for power Sergey Pavlovich, and I've put Tom Aspinall as well, because I believe in terms of brute strength they're pretty close. That's it for my video, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you liked the video, or a comment in the comment section below. And yeah, the video was fun to make. If you have any differing opinions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I would love to see who you guys would have put in these slots for yourselves. Fun video to make. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys next time.